Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. First of all, a very Ramadan Kareem to all of you and your families as well. Hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses you and of course you have an opportunity to make up for any amends that you want to make up for as well, and may all of us be blessed in this month and have the courage to not only fast but also keep the sanctity of Ramadan, which includes spreading happiness, joy, patience, which is a virtue of course, and helping others, which is the most important part of it. May we all have the ability to do that as well. So I just wanted to let you know that from me and my entire team, a very Ramadan Kareem to you. That being said, let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we've got to talk about the greatest, the GOAT, Jimmy Anderson, who becomes the first fast bowler to reach the milestone of 700 test wickets and the third bowler to do so as well. He did it in the match against India. But the fact is that what's great about Anderson is that I really was thinking about what we should talk about when we come to the show with our experts as well. And I thought that the consistency in line and length is something that we need to explore. Because if you look at his length that he hits in England, and when he moves towards countries like India or in certain conditions which are similar, there is a fraction of a difference between that length. Nothing changes. And he is one of those bowlers who has not shied away from bowling full and has extracted swing from there as well. So we really need to talk about that skill set, that determination, and what makes Jimmy Anderson so successful in the world of cricket. Then of course we move on and we discuss more cricket on the show. We talk about Ireland versus Afghanistan. The third one international is underway at Sharjah. Of course, Afghanistan lead the series 1-0. They won the second one international. They scored 310. In reply, Ireland could only manage 275. Meanwhile, the first one international was abandoned and of course ended in no result. So of course if Ireland win, it's going to be a series draw, but Afghanistan have all the chance of winning the series as well. So interesting prospects there as well. Then of course we move on to some football qualifiers where we of course discuss Pakistan up against Jordan as well, and we talked about the fact that Pakistan tends to get some difficult matches, but the fact is that I think it's going to be a lot of necessary practice for Pakistan as well. So we'll talk about that in detail, and the fact is that overall we've seen our team has produced results, but then again I think on the 21st we see the match and training of the national team has already begun. Head coach Stephen Constantine is leading this camp as well, so we'll talk about that. And then of course we move on to the AFC Champions League. Al Nassr have been knocked out by Al Ain. They've lost 3-1 on penalties, so a disappointment for Al Nassr as well. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios we've been joined by cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter and our sports expert Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm good, thank you very much.
We've also been joined by a cricket expert and analyst Sabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Sabir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm absolutely fine, thank you.
Well, I think both Sabir and of course Asif will be exploring this with me as well. But Asif, like I said, that what I'm intrigued about is what has made Jimmy Anderson so successful over the years. We have seen that evolution from a young boy who probably went into the strongest English side that we ever saw, and from there onwards he has just been greater with each passing day.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Jimmy Anderson, to the English team, to the fans of England team for achieving this milestone of Jimmy Anderson. Ahmed, aren't we lucky being witnessing this utter greatness and great commitment towards his goals? This is what you were talking about, that how important this is, that you are focused, calm, and you're just targeting your goals. If you see his career in 2003, he has started his career against Zimbabwe. And after that, if you see his 100 wickets, 200 wickets, 300, 400, 500, 600, and the 700. The 600 wicket was the precious wicket. That was Azhar Ali has got his wicket. And now Kuldeep Yadav, the 700 wicket for James Anderson. If you see his record, all the time we talk about that he's 41 years of age. And his fitness is just a joke for him, to be very honest, that it's unbelievable. This is what Sir Alistair Cook is talking about him, that I have captained him in 49 games, and the one thing that was really, really unique in the personality of James Anderson, to become better and better every time, try to become better and better, and his hunger to get victories for England, that was absolutely brilliant. So I think that Jimmy Anderson now, if you see the first seamer in the world in the history of the cricket, that was taken 700 wickets right before him, two spinners, Mutai Muralidharan and Shane Warne. They've taken this the 700 wickets, but after that, Glenn McGrath 563. When he has taken the wicket of the 564th wicket, I think that was a very, very good time to say goodbye. If it was happening in Pakistan, the people used to call him, now that's the time, say goodbye. But he has worked on his fitness. He has, as you were telling in your intro, his line and length are very, very unique thing in his career, that either you're playing in England, you're in India, you're in Australia, you'd have to work on your line or length. And he has taken plenty of wickets, not only in England, because some of his critics, they talk about that because he was playing most of his career in England. But even then, it's not easy to, in the age of 41, that you are becoming really fit, you look energetic, each and everything is going in your favor just because of your passion. So hats off and congratulations, Jimmy Anderson.
Absolutely. Sabir, how would you analyze the career of Jimmy Anderson so far? I mean, taking 700 wickets in that too as a fast bowler. If you look at the other two people who've done that so far, Muthaiya Muralidharan with 800 plus wickets, and Shane Warne, of course, with 708 wickets particularly as well. So obviously, we know spinners have a long lifetime, their longevity is more. But as a fast bowler, to play that long, to expand your career to getting 700 wickets, how do you see that career?
Look, I mean, it's been a remarkable career for him. And obviously, he's a super fit man. He is basically 42 years old. I mean, almost 41 years and 226 days. I mean, but he has been a remarkable ambassador for England. I mean, for so many years. I mean, he's the guy basically, along with a couple of greatest fast bowlers. I mean, who have been performing exceptionally well in every condition, not in their home conditions only. But again, hats off to him being a fast bowler, while having such kind of a fitness. I mean, he's a superstar, I would say. I still remember, when he basically toured Pakistan in 2005, 2006, when Inzamam ul Haq was the captain. Personally, I myself basically, went to Rawalpindi just to see James Anderson and Andy Flintoff, because England basically won the Ashes against Australia in 2005. I was studying in Islamic University, and doing BBA, but I mean, I just wanted to see, James Anderson because of, his beautiful hairstyle as well. I went to Rawalpindi, watched that particular ODI, which basically Pakistan won. He's basically, wonderful bowler. He basically, started his career, against, mighty sides. I mean, he basically, bowled wonderfully well in T20s. Started his debut in 2007 to play T20s, and basically he ended his career for the T20s. He said goodbye in 2009. He basically focused on test matches. He basically, made a hat-trick against Pakistan in 2003 World Cup. Who can forget his seam and swing bowling in South African pitches against Pakistan, remarkable bowling for him. Then in ODIs, he basically said goodbye in 2015 World Cup, when basically England basically trashed, by Bangladesh in quarter-final. Then basically he, for last so many years, I mean, for last 9 years, he basically focused on test matches just to play for his country. I still remember a couple of test matches when he was basically got out against Sri Lanka. He was the 11th man. Literally he cried. Why he cried? Because England basically lost the match. His country lost the match. That basically shows his emotions, his passion for his country. So absolutely wonderful, a superstar for England.
Well, being a superstar is certainly something that, Anderson has mastered. But I think that skill of adapting to not only conditions but to different batters as well, setting them up. Asif, like I said, that spinners, their longevity is there. But Anderson realized in his peak of his career, and let's remember, this is an individual who's not playing one-day international cricket or T20 cricket, but just focusing on Test cricket for England.
Well, Ahmed, before answering your question, if you see his record, I would like to share with our viewers that his first wicket was Mark Vermeulen, Zimbabwe. His 100th wicket was Jack Callis, South Africa. His 200 wickets with Peter Siddle from Australia. 300 wicket, Peter Fulton, New Zealand. 400 wicket, Martin Guptill, New Zealand. 500 wicket, Craig Brathwaite, West Indies. 600 wicket, Azraeli. And the 700 wicket was the Kuldeep Yadav. Okay, if you see this list, Ahmed, all of them are really good batters. This is what you were talking about, that it's not easy taking wicket of Jack Callis. You know that this is what Shoaib Akhtar said. The most difficult battle in the world was Jack Callis and Rahul Dravid. And when we talk about the batters like Martin Guptill, batters like Azraeli and Craig Brathwaite, so I think phenomenal bowler. And why they guys are unique, not only Jimmy Anderson, but also Stuart Broad. 600 wickets to Stuart Broad. These two bowlers, they have created a history in the world of cricket, and both of them, the way they came up and they emerged as a very, very good fast bowler wasn't easy. In the era of Shoaib Akhtar, in the era of Brett Lee, as Sabir was mentioning, in the era of Glenn McGrath, each and everything was really difficult for the fast bowlers. But when you talk about a bowler like Jimmy Anderson, who could bowl, who could swing either ways, either it's the in swing, out swing. If you're a left-handed batter, and I'm Ahmed, you're a left-handed batter, just do remember that couple of deliveries coming in, and a very unique delivery when going out would be a blinder for you. And the batters who are already coming up with the right hand, and I do remember that when he was bowling to Ricky Ponting in Ashes, and Ricky Ponting went to go for the left, and that was the off stump was broken. So that was a very unique thing in the Jimmy Anderson's bowling, and still he's playing, and who knows that he'll be playing some more couple of years for England.
Absolutely. Sabir, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, he's obviously seen various captains as well. He's had that experience. But the great thing, like Asif mentioned, is that him and Broad have been the most successful test bowling pair right now in history. We can talk about it as well. And then, of course, at the same time, Anderson has not shied away from sharing the art with different conditions, be it in India, be it in England, with young fast bowlers who have come up the English ranks.
Absolutely. This shows his greatness. I mean, he has been, performing exceptionally well in every condition, I would say. I still remember so many matches, he basically won for England in Australian, on Australian soil, I would say. Picked up a couple of, fifers, and in Sydney, Brisbane, and again in Canberra as well. But I mean, he has been bowling really well along with, Stuart Broad. Both of them basically as a pair made debut in 2007 in England, Wellington. And, that is the time they started bowling, combined for England. And this particular pair basically demolished so many great batsmen. I mean, we always talk about the banter between Glenn McGrath and Sachin Tendulkar for so many years. I mean, but Virat Kohli and James Anderson, both of them, we always talk about. Basically, the world always talks about. But Virat Kohli, great batsman of India, he always struggles against the swing of James Anderson on England pitches as well, and some other good batsmen likes of Rahul Dravid, Mohammad Yusuf, in 2007 series, Inzamam ul Haq as well. So he has been, a remarkable bowler, I would say. He has a basically art how to basically get out the batsman. So that is the reason he has basically played 187 test matches for being a fast bowler. In Pakistani culture, we have seen a couple of great fast bowlers like Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, Shoaib Akhtar as well. They basically did not survive as far as such kind of test matches were concerned. Obviously, we have a different culture if you compare to some other countries like England, Australia, South Africa as well. But I mean, hats off to James Anderson. The way he has been performing, his dedication must be appreciated. Being a senior player, grooming some youngsters. I mean, helping out some young bowlers of some other countries as well. So this shows he's a wonderful human being as well.
Absolutely. Asif, everybody's going to see those 700 wickets and what he's done on the international stage. But I think we really need to talk about this is an individual who started his first class cricket in 2002, 296 games and 1,114 first class wickets in his career so far.
Yes, 187 test matches. Unbelievable that who's gonna beat his record. I think nowadays, when you know that the test cricket is not happening, everyone is focusing towards shortest format. So it looks like that now it's a world record for Jimmy Anderson being fast bowler, because he's the only seamer who has taken 700 wickets, and right after him, Stuart Broad. Ahmed, this is how their seriousness towards the test cricket is, that both of them no one knows that what was happening with the Stuart Broad, that when he has conceded six sixes in an over against Yuvraj Singh. What if it could have happened in Pakistan with any fast bowler? His career was trashed out. But in England, this is what you call that the system is. And this system brought these kind of great fast bowlers, Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson. And I was trying to just looking after that, who is right behind Jimmy Anderson. And is there any Pakistani fast bowler who is in the race? So unluckily, no one is there, because our prime fast bowlers like Shaheen Shafridi and Haris Rauf and some other fast bowlers, they aren't playing Test cricket. So huge record and huge respect for these kind of fast bowlers who is bringing shine and energy in Test cricket.
Well, Asif, what I think example we can take out of this is very important for all the youngsters who see Jimmy Anderson and see an individual who's only prioritizing Test cricket. What example can the youngsters obtain from such a skill set, of course?
Well, of course, that Ahmed, if I'm playing cricket and if I want to become a fast bowler, that I will definitely idealize someone. And in the past, Pakistani kids, they were idealizing Shoaib Akhtar.
Asif, thank you very much. That's all we have time for. Sabir, thank you to you as well. That wraps it up for me and the entire team. It's goodbye for now.